In 30 seconds before you walk out the door, you are either telling your dog's nervous system that everything is fine, or you're accidentally triggering a cascade of stress that lasts for hours. Most owners have no idea they're doing it. This video will show you exactly what to do instead. Welcome to Canine Mind. Subscribe now. What we cover here changes things.
Today, we're going through 5 science-backed steps you can do in under a minute, right before you leave your dog alone.
That will transform how your dog experiences your absence. And don't skip to number 5. It's the most overlooked, the easiest to fix, and for many dogs, it makes more difference than everything else combined. But first, you need to understand what's actually happening in your dog's brain during those final 30 seconds before you leave. Because once you see it, you'll never approach a departure the same way again. Your dog's nervous system is not processing your departure the way you think it is. What their nervous system is doing is running a very old, very fast program that is constantly asking one question: is this safe or is this not safe? And everything, your movement, your energy, your tone of voice, your pace, the specific sequence of things you do before you leave, all of it is input into that question. And the problem is that most owners, right before walking out the door, are in a state of high cognitive and emotional activity. They're thinking about what they forgot, what the day holds, whether they locked the back door, whether the dog has enough water. They might feel guilty about leaving. They might compensate by making the goodbye big and warm and emotionally charged, kneeling down, talking in that fast, high, affectionate voice, doing one more long cuddle before the door closes. And the dog's nervous system receives all of that and produces an answer. Something different is happening. Something heightened, something worth being alert about. And then the door shuts, and they're alone with that alert state, and nowhere to put it. That's where the chewing comes from. The barking, the pacing, the scratching at the door. Not disobedience, not manipulation. A nervous system that was handed a state of high arousal and then left without the person who caused it. The good news is that the same mechanism that makes the departure routine so powerful as an anxiety trigger also makes it powerful as a calming tool. Your dog reads your signals with extraordinary precision,
which means you can use those same 30 seconds to send completely different signals that the ancient part of their brain will receive as:
everything is normal. I am safe. Rest is appropriate right now. Here is how you do it.
Step number 1, the silent connection ritual. In the 2 minutes before you leave, most owners either avoid their dog entirely
because they think engagement will make the departure harder, or they over-engage in exactly the way we just described.
Both approaches miss what dogs actually need in that moment. What a dog's nervous system responds to before separation is not excitement and not avoidance. It's calm, regulated, steady presence. Brief eye contact from a relaxed face. The signal that says, I see you, I am calm, everything around us is fine. Research on the dog-human bond and
when an owner's emotional state is calm and grounded in the minutes before leaving, their dog's physiological stress response is measurably lower.
The calm is literally contagious, in the same way that anxiety is contagious. You are a biological regulator for your dog.
Your state becomes their state if you let it. What to do? In the last minute or 2 before you leave,
move toward your dog without urgency. Soften your face deliberately. Relax your jaw. Let your eyes go soft.
Make gentle eye contact for between 10 and 15 seconds. Not a stare, not an intense gaze, just easy, natural contact. Then break the eye contact first. Look away calmly. This is the signal your dog's nervous system reads as nothing is wrong. Everything is as it should be. Have you ever noticed your poodle watching you from across the room, tracking your movements with that detective-level focus?
Before you've done a single obvious departure cue, before you've picked up your keys or put on your coat.
That's their nervous system already reading your internal state. Your slightly faster movement, your more deliberate pace.
The quality of your attention shifting from relaxed to task-oriented. They know before you signal anything obvious.
Which is why the calm has to be real, not performed. Your dog will know the difference. Step number 2, release the hidden tension zones. Your dog is carrying physical tension in their body right now. Not because anything dramatic has happened,
Simply because tension accumulates in the muscles around the chest, the shoulders, the webs between the toes.
in the same way tension accumulates in your own body across the course of a day. And here is the connection that matters. When the body stays tense, the nervous system stays alert. Physical tension and psychological alertness feed each other.
You cannot fully calm one without addressing the other. Most owners, when they comfort their dog before leaving,
Give a quick pat on the head. This is well-intentioned and almost completely ineffective at the nervous system level. The areas that hold the most tension in dogs and that respond most powerfully to slow, deliberate touch are not the top of the head. They're the webbing between the toes, which carries a surprising amount of tension in anxious dogs, and the area where the front legs meet the chest.
The pectoral groove, which tightens when a dog's stress response is elevated. Slow, circular pressure in these areas sends a direct signal to the nervous system.
The threat level is low. You can ease off the alertness. Research on calming touch in dogs has consistently found that
Fast touch activates. Slow touch settles. What to do? Spend 30 seconds, that's all, using slow, soft, circular or along the chest where the front legs connect. Keep your hands soft. Keep your pace slow and deliberate. The goal is not to excite them. The goal is to release the physical holding that feeds their alert state. Think of it as loosening a knot that's been there all morning. At this point, you've done two things. You've given your dog calm, emotional connection through the eye contact ritual, and you've helped their body physically release tension. Those two steps together shift the baseline.
They change the starting state your dog is in when you leave. Step number 3, the boring exit. This is the step where most owners undo everything else they've done.
The departure itself. Dogs mirror energy. This is not a figure of speech. It is a neurological reality.
Their brain is wired for social attunement, for reading the emotional states of the beings they're bonded to, and adjusting their own state accordingly.
When you leave with high energy, they escalate. When you leave with low, steady, unremarkable energy, they have no information suggesting that escalation is warranted. The dramatic goodbye, the kneeling down, the long hug, the whispered, "I'll miss you, be good," feels loving and necessary for you. What it communicates to your dog's nervous system is that leaving is a high-stakes emotional event. And when an animal's nervous system receives that signal, it prepares for whatever is coming. Not knowing what's coming, but knowing something is, it activates. And then you're gone, but the activation has nowhere to go. Animal behavior researchers who study separation-related behaviors consistently find that calm, predictable, low-key departures produce calmer dogs during owner absence. The boring exit is not cold or unloving. It is the most genuinely loving thing you can do for your dog in that moment, because what they need is not your emotion. They need your regulation. What to do? Make your last 2 minutes at home deliberately ordinary. Move at your usual pace. Keep your voice low and even. Right before you step out, say one simple phrase in a calm, low tone. Something like, "See you later," or "back soon." Words you use consistently, not dramatically. Then leave. No lingering, no looking back through the glass, no one last check.
Out the door and forward. You might feel almost guilty at how matter-of-fact it is. That guilt is information about your own emotional needs around the separation.
Which are real and valid, but they are separate from what your dog actually needs. What they need is the message. This is normal. This happens every day. It ends. Rest is the appropriate response. Step number 4, the scent anchor. This is the step that most owners either don't know about or underestimate, and it is particularly powerful for sensitive dogs, rescue dogs, and dogs who have experienced instability in their history. Dogs navigate their emotional world primarily through scent.
your scent is not just pleasant to them. It is information. It tells them, my person exists, my person was here.
My person is near. I am safe. Your smell activates the same parts of their brain that your actual presence activates.
Not identically, but significantly. And when you've been away, when the house smells only of cleaning products and neutralizers, that comforting chemical information is gone and its absence is felt. Research on separation-related stress in dogs has found that less cortisol, fewer stress behaviors, more time spent resting rather than pacing or vocalizing. The mechanism is not complicated. The scent tells the nervous system, the pack is close, everything is fine. What to do? Before you leave, place a recently worn, unwashed piece of your clothing, a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, anything that carries your current scent, in your dog's favorite resting spot or their crate. It needs to be unwashed and recently worn. Freshly laundered clothing doesn't work the same way. The scent needs to be yours, specific, and recent. This is especially valuable if you've just showered, if you're wearing different clothes than usual,
or if you've cleaned the house before leaving. You are replacing the scent information that your dog uses to feel safe.
You are leaving a version of yourself behind, a chemical message that says, I exist, I am close, you are not alone here. Step number 5, control the sound environment. This is the most overlooked step, and for many dogs, the most important one to fix. Most owners assume that any background sound helps their dog while they're alone, so they leave the television on, or a radio playing, or a general music streaming service running at whatever it was already set to. The logic is sound. The background noise can mask some external sounds and provide some sense of presence, but the execution is where this goes wrong. Televisions and random streaming services contain frequent, unpredictable spikes of sound. Sudden commercial jingles,
Movie trailers with dramatic music, sirens, gunshots, aggressive tones, sharp noises. Each of these is a potential startle trigger.
And when a dog startles, when their nervous system spikes in response to an unexpected loud sound, if no one is there, they can spiral. The startle feeds more alertness, more vigilance, more arousal until the dog is spending their entire alone time. What does the research say? Studies on sound and canine stress have found that consistent, low-intensity, predictable audio,
soft classical music, gentle nature sounds, specially designed calming audio for dogs, is associated with lower heart rates, more time spent resting,
and fewer stress behaviors during owner absence, compared to unpredictable audio environments. The key word is predictable.
The nervous system can habituate to consistent sound. It cannot habituate to random unpredictability. What to do?
5 minutes before you leave, not as you're walking out the door, but 5 minutes before, put on a dedicated calming soundtrack at a conversational volume. Something that doesn't change dramatically, something that doesn't have sudden loud moments. There are playlists specifically designed for this purpose that you can find easily.
Set it and leave it running, not loud enough to be obtrusive, loud enough to mask sudden outside sounds. If you only change one thing from this video, change this one.
Because unpredictable sound is a silent anxiety trigger that most owners have been accidentally running for years, and the fix is immediate and free.
Now put all 5 steps together. You arrive at the 2-minute mark before departure. You approach your dog calmly, soften your face. Make easy eye contact for 10 or 15 seconds, and then break it first. You spend 30 seconds applying the webbing between the toes, the chest where the front legs meet. You move through your final preparations without urgency or drama. The calming sound is already running in the background. Your worn t-shirt is already in their resting spot. You say one calm, low-toned phrase.
All right, let's go.
See you later, and you leave without looking back. What your dog experiences, a person who was calm and connected, whose body was relaxed and regulated, who touched them in a way that released rather than activated, who left without signaling that anything unusual was happening,
and who left behind their scent and a consistent, predictable sound environment. What their nervous system concludes.
Nothing has changed. This is normal. Rest is the appropriate response. That is not just good training practice.
That is you speaking directly to the oldest, most fundamental part of your dog's brain in a language it actually understands.
And over time, repetition of this routine builds something that goes beyond the routine itself. It builds your dog's capacity to be alone without anxiety. Their nervous system learns, through accumulated evidence, that your departures are predictable, that they are safe, and that you always come back. That is the foundation of genuine security, not the absence of anxiety because they've been distracted from it, but the actual belief that being alone is not danger.
That is the difference between a dog who is managing and a dog who is truly okay. Subscribe to Canine Mind. Leave a comment below.
Tell us your dog's name and which of these 5 steps you're going to try first tomorrow morning.
Because every dog that gets this is a dog spending fewer hours in panic and more hours actually resting. And that matters.